Happy lunchtime and welcome to Flossmas Day 15. It was so dark this morning, I decided I'd wait a bit to take a video. As you can see, it's garbage day. It is another miserable, wet day. But that's okay. It's 9 days till Christmas Eve. And we're pretty excited about that around here. Chat soon. Hi everybody. My videographer is back. He is homesick today, so I'm using him, abusing him. I'm using him as, and I'm not paying him, that's why I'm using him. He doesn't know that yet. Don't tell him. Shh. Let's open day 15 of the Evertote Roxy Floss Co. Modern Folk Embroidery Holiday Countdown. And then I'm also going to open day 15 of my Knitwits Advent Calendar. How's everybody doing today? We had our Christmas party at work. And we had a Secret Santa gift exchange. And I got some Newfoundland Tea Company tea. Cover your ears, it's gonna get loud. I've learned by now the only way to open these bags is to just rip them down the middle. Okay, so there's our pattern. Looks nice too. Oh, pretty. This is called On Holiday. Let me put that against that. It's kind of a, looks in this light, which is not the best, looks kind of a corally color. Really pretty. Really pretty. Very nice. Okay. Let's see what's in this one. I know who this is from. The sound you hear in the background is my son practicing trombone. Because with the kids homesick, there's no perfect time to do a video anymore. Although that child, the one playing the trombone, isn't sick. Ooh, look at this. So there is a candy cane. Hello. And look, another beautiful knitted, that's two, it's my second knitted, isn't that a pretty pattern? Knitted, I'm going to use them for dishcloths. I don't know, some people use them for face cloths, but I use them for dishcloths. Isn't that a pretty pattern? Pretty yarn. Very nice. Thank you, Miss S. I love it. I'm surprised that you're not chewing on the candy cane and the floss, so let me just move those before you start. And the string, she's the weirdest thing. Well, I guess cats like string. Anyway, I'll stop in a few minutes again and have another chat later. Bye. Good morning and welcome to Flossmas Day 16, which is not looking like a whole lot different from any other day during December. Hear the wind? I'm sure you do. See the waves? Wow. The wind has not let up, and I'm sure the fog will roll in thicker again as it does during the day. Oh well, December 16th. Hi everybody, it is Flossmas Day 17 and I wanted to stop in and say hi and just let you know a little bit, give you an update on what's happening with me. My name is Patty. I am coming to you from the extreme east coast of Canada in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador on the island of Newfoundland at almost the most easterly point in North America. I am a cross stitcher. I'm a cross stitch designer. I also am very multi-craftual and crochet, knit, sew, rug hook, punch needle hook, do a variety of other crafts. But right now I've been working on the Evertote Roxy Floss Co. Modern Folk Embroidery Holiday Countdown, which has been cross stitch concentrated, and that's one of the reasons why this is called Flossmas. We're doing a video a day during the month of December. Although, if you've been following along, you will notice that I've missed a day or two. And I will put in at the beginning, you've probably already seen it at the beginning of this, a couple, because I did do the morning views. I always do morning views on my Flossmas videos. But honestly, the weather hasn't been great. I live with depression, and some days are bad. It hasn't been as bad as it can get, but I've had a couple low days and wasn't feeling like doing anything craft wise, and wasn't feeling up to getting on the energy to do a video. So I'm back. Hopefully I won't have any more breaks. But that's just, I want to give myself grace in terms of how I'm feeling, and that's how I was feeling. So I'm back today. I'm going to turn the camera around. I didn't bring any cross stitch to work on here in the car. So we're doing some errands. It's Saturday. We're doing some errands. Two of our sons wear glasses and they need their new lenses put in their frames. So Pete and the boys have gone in to do that. And so it gives me a couple minutes when it's a little bit quieter, because the boys obviously are home during the weekend, and my nephew is visiting, so it's a little loud at the house. So it gives me a few minutes to speak to you, which is kind of nice. And I'm going to show you what I brought with me to keep me occupied because I knew, at least for this part, I would be waiting. I've got some returns to do, and we have some shopping to do. So this is probably my only opportunity, except when we're driving between locations, to get a chance to talk to you and to do some crocheting. So I'm working on my granny stripe crochet project, and let me turn it around and show it to you. Okay, so the pattern I'm using is a free one on the interwebs. It is by Attic24 Lucy. I've been following the Attic24 blog for years and years and years. I love Lucy. She's a breath of sunshine in the blogging world. Anyway, this is her granny stripe blanket pattern. I'm doing mine a little different than Lucy's on her blog, because I'm combining 2 strands of fingering weight yarn together, and I think hers is done in worsted. Regardless, it's the same pattern. It's not going to be it's not going to be a huge blanket as I have it right now. It's going to be, because it's 100% wool, it's going to be a beautiful, warm, drapey blanket when I get more stitched. And this one's a marathon, not a sprint. So I plan on working with this over the next, I don't know, even a couple of years to get this done. And then when I get this big rectangle finish that I'm planning on stitching, I'm going to put a bit of a border, probably 2 or 3 inch border around it as well. So I like the look of a finished border on a crochet blanket. So I've just started. I'll show you my yarn in a second. I'm using, everybody's tension's different. I'm using an E, a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. Just want to see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a little tiny bit of sparkle in what I just started on. So what I'm doing is, let me grab the balls out of my bag and show you those. So one of the pieces, or the fingering weight yarns that I'm using, and this is all sock weight yarn. So I said it was 100% wool. To be honest, a lot of this is superwash, which means it can go in the washer, and a lot of it is also going to have a percentage of nylon in it, because most of the yarns I'm using are little bits and pieces of, not all, but some are little bits and pieces of sock weight yarn, also called fingering weight. That's, so each of my, I'm going to be, the color that I'm using for my kind of extra to thicken up my yarn is this color, a little bit whiter. I've got more coming in the mail to help with this. This is a Sweet Georgia cottage stock, I think is the base. So it's a very, very pale dyed piece. It's a little bit dark. I kind of found that these colors here are a little bit, they're a little bit muted, which is fine. I probably would have preferred that they're a bit brighter, but that's what happens when you combine them with a cream or an off-white. So the blanket color, the tonal dynamics of this throw will probably change a little bit, because I think what I have ordered is a little bit whiter than this. It's actually an undyed fingering weight yarn is what I'm getting. So that'll be a little bit lighter than this. And then what I've done to go with that is I've made using a magic knot. See if you can see the sparkle in this. I love me some sparkle. So I've used a magic knot. You can look up on YouTube what a magic knot is to join yarn. So this is a whole bunch of small skeins, and I'll show you how big they were to start. I think I have one in my bag, but yeah, I've got one. So here's an example. This one may not be sock weight, I'm not sure, or it may not have nylon in it. So I'm using a mix of everything as long as it's fingering weight. I'm not planning on throwing this in the washer anyway, or certainly not in the dryer. But anyway, so I took little skein hanks this big, and then I joined them in a magic knot and just rolled it up in a ball like this. And I did it by a hand ball. And then what I did is took the hand ball that I had wrapped and put it on my yarn cake maker, for lack of a better word, and made a bit more of a yarn cake out of it. Yeah, so all these colors will be going into this blanket, which at the moment, I mean, we look at the colors that are coming, at the moment is looking quite muted, but will eventually have a lot more brightness and variegation of color in it. I think I was getting a bit bothered by the fact that there's gray here, and the gray with the white is just looking very gray and gloomy, a bit like the weather has been. And I'm happy now to be moving on to this kind of sparkly teals and golds and greens, and then that'll continue into the rest of the colors will be nice and bright, so that's great. And this is just one ball. I will need many of these, but I have many mini skeins and bits of sock yarn, or even if I decide to use a full skein, I have much to use up at my house, and that's really what this project is about, is to use up some of what I have into something that's functional, that the whole family is going to enjoy. I have many started projects and not very many finished projects, partially because I'm not as inclined to finish if it's for me, which sounds terrible. If I'm making something for somebody else, I'm a little more cognizant and better with a deadline. I'm very much a process crocheter and knitter. Crocheting, I'm a little bit more product focused. I do like the end product coming up a bit faster, but I'm just in it for the pleasure of doing the stitching. So it doesn't matter to me if I finish, but I want to try in 2023 to finish a bit more. And I also have a little bit of bling here. This is a cute little, oops, lost my hook. This is called a progress keeper. So the last time I showed you, I had these 2 rows done, and then I've stitched this much since. So now when I finish this video, I'll move my progress keeper up to here so you can see how much it's grown. And it won't grow quickly, but I'll keep you posted on it as it goes. Anyway, the boys should be out soon. I'm going to do a bit more stitching, and we'll chat soon. Bye. Good morning and happy Flossmas Day 19. Just when you thought it couldn't get any more miserable, it's some kind of freezing something right now. I don't think it's freezing rain, but it's kind of slushy falling. The weather has not improved. It's a cold day, close to freezing, and the wind's coming right in my face, so I am getting water in the face. I've also had to lock the front door so it stops popping open in the wind. Look at the waves. Chat soon, I'm getting wet. Hey folks, it's Monday the 19th, and I really want to get a video up for you today, maybe even 2, we'll see. I told you a bit about what was going on with me in a couple clips ago. Everything's fine. Trying to spend some time with the family, some quiet time. Feeling better than I was, which is awesome, just emotionally. And yeah, you can see our tree is now got lights on it and a few decorations. There's still more to come. I'm trying to give myself grace about not having everything done quite as early as some years, and that's fine. I'm going to move to a different place and open my advent calendar presents, and so let's go do that. Hi again. So I have days 16, 17, and 18. I'm going to leave day 19, which is today, for later on this evening, in hopes that I'll get another video up. And then from my Knitwit friends, I have day 16, day 17. I'm just turning the around so you can't see the name, and day 18. So I'm going to get these pre-opened because it's so hard to open them one-handed, and be back in a second. Okay, I am so excited. There are some beautiful, beautiful things here. So for the Leo and Roxy Floss Co. Evertote and Modern Folk Embroidery Holiday Countdown Stitch Along, for day 16, we've got this beautiful pink, appropriately named Cindy Lou. Isn't that gorgeous? Really pretty. For day 17, I mean, all these colors are gorgeous. This tealy green blue, which is called Can't Kelp It. Hannah comes up with the greatest names. And for day 18, we have this variegated beauty. Hopefully you can see the variegation in that. Isn't that gorgeous? And this one, again, is appropriately named Cheesecake, because doesn't that really look like it could be strawberry cheesecake? Oh. Now, for my Knitwits treats, I got absolutely spoiled. So in here, we have some chocolate handmade fudge. Myself and the boys will devour that very shortly, as soon as they get home from school. And look, we've got some cross-stitch goodness in the second one for day 17. This is from my friend Vonnie. Hi, Vonnie. Vonnie also has a floss tube channel, and I'm going to put the name of the channel up. Oh. Sorry, I got interrupted by my the timer going off for my tea. So Vonnie is another floss tuber. She does beautiful full coverage pieces, and it is so special to get a hand-stitched present from her. Look at this beautiful finishing. Isn't that gorgeous? Ribbon and everything just perfect. A little ornament. I love it. Thank you, Vonnie. And then from one of my other very special Knitwit friends, it's this gorgeous, gorgeous mug filled with the very best of chocolates. And it's microwave and dishwasher friendly. And it's huge, which is awesome because I love a good huge mug for my tea. So pleased. Got absolutely spoiled. And I think one thing I should say about all these Advent goodness, the ones that the Knitwits and I put together this year, so each of us either made or bought, so made, the expectation was that you make 12 and buy 12, but there was a limit on terms of what was purchased. I chose to make all of mine with a few purchased items kind of added in, like chocolate and such. Everybody has their own way of doing it, which is really awesome. And so you never know what you're going to get. And it's really a blessing to have such a wonderful group of women, like-minded women who are so creative and come together to do this. This is our second Christmas doing it. And I do not take this for granted. I feel very spoiled this year to have not one, but 2 Advent calendars, and really, really appreciate them. Back in a different part of the house where I just gave you some video on my beautiful presents. Feeling very spoiled here in this Advent season. Just wanted to touch base again. I am going to get this video up and loaded today. Hopefully it's going to be it's going to have several parts of several days. I think I missed the morning view for 1, if not 2 days, but it hasn't changed. We've had rain, drizzle, fog, and freezing rain or snowy slush falling for ever since I think I started Flossmas just about. So the view hasn't changed. I apologize for not catching it every day. Hopefully I will from here on in. Thanks so much for your patience for this little gap in my videos, and I'll chat with you again later today.